This is CNN Breaking News.
Welcome back to Starting Point, everyone. As we've been saying, there is news developing every minute here this morning, and we have still more breaking news. Right now, it's out of Berlin in Germany, the U.S. consulate there. We are hearing that there was a letter delivered to the consulate to an employee there. She opened the letter and then apparently fell ill. There are people on the scene right now investigating a substance that was found near the scene. They are questioning a man who delivered the letter right now. There is developing news coming from Germany right now. We're going to get on the phone right now with CNN's Fred Pleitgen right now, who hopefully can shed some light on what is going on right there.
Hi there, yeah, and it still really is a fluid situation. As you say, we're getting new information as to what's going on there and actually heading out to the scene right now as well. It's unclear whether or not this letter actually arrived in the mail or whether this person handed in his visa documents to this employee. But we do know is that a man came up to the visa counter, handed in his documents, including his passport, and that the employee of the embassy then said that she was feeling ill, also said that she was having trouble breathing, said that there was dizziness involved as well. What we know also is that a white substance was found in the area, and the Berlin Police Department and the Berlin Fire Department are on the scene. There's a decontamination vehicle and decontamination unit there as well, and they're obviously probing this substance to see if there's anything to this. And as you said, the person who delivered these documents is also still inside the consulate compound in the visa area, and he's currently being questioned by police. So they're trying to figure out what exactly is going on. But certainly, this is very much a developing situation right now.
So, Fred, again, just quickly, the person on the receiving end of this document, this packet, who's now ill, this person is an American?
Yeah, well, that's the information that we have currently right now, that this person is an employee of the embassy, is an American, and has been brought to a hospital. There's also some information that we haven't yet been able to corroborate about whether or not 2 additional people from the embassy have also been to hospital as well. The police spokesperson that I spoke to just a couple of minutes ago said he didn't have any information on that, wasn't able to confirm that yet. I'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
The latest information that we have is that, yes, this was an American. She is in hospital. She was feeling ill. She's there for treatment as well as, of course, evaluation, Brooke.
Okay, Fred Pleitgen for us in Berlin, and just given everything that's been happening at U.S. embassies and consulates in the Middle East, and here we have Germany. Certainly, we can't link any of them, but makes us ask a lot of questions. Fred Pleitgen, we appreciate that. We want to keep talking, of course. Here we are one day after learning the very tragic news of the loss of Ambassador Chris Stevens, the U.S. ambassador in Libya. He was ultimately died in Benghazi just about 24 or 48 hours ago. I want to bring in the Libyan ambassador to the United States. He is Ali Ojali. Mr. Ambassador, good morning to you, and of course, our condolences to the loss of your friend. This is a very personal loss for you. Can you just share a story about the ambassador?
Well, Chris, a personal friend, he's a hero. He's a Libyan hero. I know him about 6 years ago. I know him when he was a member of your embassy in Tripoli, and the people, they like him in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's a very sociable man. Then when he came back to Washington, then he's a tennis player. He's a very good tennis, and then we play together at the weekends. He come to my house, and then we go to the tennis court in one car, and then we come back. We have some Libyan breakfast, and then he's the man with the sense of humor. He's the man is very sociable. He likes Libya. He loves Libya. He stands with the Libyan in the past and after the revolution. Whenever you go to Libya, then and you mention his name, the people, they'll say, "Oh, that's a Chris. That's a very nice man."
They know him.
I lost him as a friend, and I think Libya lost a very important man, a very supportive man in a very critical time, really.
It is such a big loss, and there are still so many questions about how he died and who killed him, Mr. Ambassador. You've been quoted as recently as last night saying that you believe that it was associates to the former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi who were behind this attack. Do you still believe that?
Well, it is very difficult at this time to decide who is really exactly behind it. But if we look at the circumstances and the time when the attack took place, you know, you see that we received, or the Abdullah Sanusi, the chief of the intelligence during Gaddafi, is a criminal who killed many Libyans. He's in Libya now. You see that the September 11. This is Al-Qaeda. They have a connection in it. And you see also, for example, this video, which has created a lot of problems, not only in Libya and many Muslim countries. Then Gaddafi's people, they're still working. They have money, especially in the neighboring countries. And I cannot ignore that they are not part of this attack. Or we have to find out, and I hope that very soon we will find the responsible people for this attack and bring them to justice.
There are a lot of observers who think that the current Libyan government is all too quick to blame the Gaddafi regime for all of its problems. I want to read you a quote from Human Rights Watch. It says the Libyan government has been blaming amorphous pro-Gaddafi elements for everything that goes wrong in their country. It's a way of denying the hard truth that the biggest threat they face to their hopes for democracy and the rule of law comes from among their own fellow former revolutionaries. Mr. Ambassador, are there threats from within the very people who helped you take over that country?
Well, I believe that this is right. We arrest some people who are responsible for the bombing in Tripoli, and they are having a connection with people who are living in neighboring countries, and this is true. Gaddafi been in power for 42 years, and he's associated, they have money, and they are freely moving from place to another. But I must say that we have a lot of a challenge in this time. Gaddafi, he left no institution behind. We have to start everything from zero. The country under Gaddafi, it have no hope. The people are desperate. And unfortunately, after the revolution, the government also have to deal with many issues in Tripoli and in different cities in Benghazi is part of it. But of course, we cannot blame the old regime for everything is happening in Libya. Now, we just yesterday, for the first time in 42 years, that the Prime Minister was elected by the National People's Congress. And this is a good sign, but until now, he has to form his new government. Of course, we need more personnel in the police and in the army. We send a few thousand to Turkey, we send a few thousand to Jordan, but they are not back yet.
Mr. Ambassador, if I may interrupt you on that point, that is a huge question, right? We've been talking a lot about eastern Libya. You very well know that there's a lot of weaponry, that the borders, a lot of these jihadist extremists are able to come in the country because the borders aren't very secure. In the eastern part of Libya, near Benghazi, there is certainly this encampment of these extremists. And with all these, security forces and police, as you detail, out of the country, who's helping keep those groups in check, the very groups who potentially took out our ambassador?
Well, I think maybe because of the government not in full control of Libya yet, and I think this very, very small group, I must tell you, that they are responsible for these terrorist criminal actions. They have...
very small, but potentially very powerful.
Very small, but if you have weapons, you are powerful, but they're not big group. And I was reading, the comments about what's happening in Libya, and you see, I don't even see one comment they are appreciate or they support what's the attack against the American consulate. We are really shame. I feel shame what's happening in Benghazi. This is the city I born in, this is the city I grown in it, this is the city I study in it. And the people of Libya, they do appreciate very much the American support, and from the beginning. And without your help, without your support, without the other, the NATO countries and some Arab countries' support, I will not be here today. Gaddafi will take over Libya again, and he will kill most of the people who raised against him. But I think now we need the Americans to help us, not only during the revolution. We need them to help us now. This is the time. We have to understand that there is no option for the Libyan except to establish a democratic countries which we can deal with the world. We will not ever permit this kind of terrorist group that to take over of Libya and lead us to destruct our frustrations, our relation, and the hope of our people who have been waiting it for a long time.
And the Libyan ambassador to the United States, Mr. Ambassador, we appreciate it. And it's significant that he says we needed the help then, we still need the help now. But to Libya's credit, and a lot of people are writing about this morning, that they really did immediately come out and condemn the violence. And there is really a majority, if you look at the recent polling, majority of Libyans do support Americans and Americans' efforts.
And it was clear the ambassador certainly does not want to see a reduction in the U.S. presence in Libya. Not now, not anytime soon. There is breaking news from all over the Middle East. Stay with us. Our continuing coverage will continue in just a moment.